Hello friends, welcome to my channel Codeforself, and today we are going to discuss Docker images versus container as well as Docker Hub and pods. So as the topic suggests, Kubernetes to create the Docker. Even in my previous videos also we have seen how to build the image from the Docker file, so that we can refer. So as this said that Docker image is a read-only template. These are the only templates having all the binaries, dependencies, libraries and instructions that helps to create the container. So key characteristics for the Docker image: it is immutable, so we cannot change once it created. So in any change, either we can recreate it or maybe, but once it created we cannot change it. So that is all about Docker image. I will quickly move to container. So what is container? So Docker container is a runnable instance of Docker image. Okay, so it is very clear. It is a runnable instance for Docker image. It's an actual isolated and executable environment where your application runs. Okay, you can start, stop, pause, restart, and delete the containers. So containers we can do, but definitely images we cannot do because it is a snapshot. So key characteristic for the containers, that is it is mutable, so it can be modified. Okay, it can be easily created, destroyed. Okay, presenting the running applications. So this is my Docker image, this is my container. Docker image is used to create the container. Okay, so that is the core difference between the Docker image and container. I will quickly move to my next topic, that is Docker Hub. So where exactly Docker Hub comes into the picture? So Docker Hub is essentially a cloud-based registry service provided by Docker company. It's a internal hub for discovering, managing, and sharing Docker container images. So basically, it's a kind of repository. If you create the image where you can put your images, so anyone within your company or maybe the outside company can go and refer that. So the images, as I said, can be stored either public or private. Public repositories images can be accessible to anyone, and I can go and run, basically pull any of image and run it on any of my container. But the private repository are restricted to specific users or team. So ideally these private repositories are used by the companies which are using the Docker Hub and putting their images. So as a link I have given, that is the dockerhub.com. I will quickly revisit the link. So this is the link. Okay, I have just opened dockerhub.com. I can sign in also. So you can see there are a lot of images which are already present. Okay, so these are my images. This is something related to Postgre images, MySQL images, MongoDB images. So in any of my container I can run these images. So if I need to run it, I can simply go to Postgres, and at the bottom see Docker pull command is here. So via pull command also we can run it. Otherwise from the Docker hub also we can basically Docker desktop also we can quickly go and download the images. So basically the images that we can find it here, and accordingly we can run it, directly run it. So it is pull or run it. So that the way we can do from Docker desktop also. So this is all about Docker Hub. In Docker Hub, basically for our demo, we are going to use one image which is basically public image. Okay, and I'm going to use the, if I type Richard, okay, let me copy the name. Okay, so I'm going to use this image. So this is the public image. Okay, and this is basically Fleetman web app. okay, that is developed in Angular. Okay, about these images I can simply know it. So this image I'm going to use for my uh, demo purpose, okay, which we will pull it. This is the public image, so we can easily pull it and we can do that. So that the way I'm going to use the Docker image. So basically we uh, try to understand the importance of the Docker image in this slide. I will move to next slide. So next slide is main topic, that is called pods. So what is pod? So pods are simplest deployable unit of computing that you can create and manage the Kubernetes. So this is very close to Kubernetes. Within a pod basically one or more container can be the part of pod. So this is a wrapper, okay, which around one or more containers is provides the runtime environment and shared resources to these containers. So that is the pod. This is the smallest deployable unit for computing, okay, and that we can create and manage in Kubernetes. So this is very important to understand about pod. Now how we will create the pod, I will go to my next slide. How we will create the pod and run the pod. So this is very simple, not much. So if you see, this is the Kubernetes actual portal, and you will see this is the pod. So all definitions are here. We can go and run it. More about the pod. So basically to use the pod, what we have to do, we have to create one YAML files, okay. So this is the structure that YAML file should be. And if I talk about this structure, so this is API version, here it is v1. Kind will be the pod, so there is no change in it. Metadata, okay, this is the name of image which we want to uh, basically build. This is my container name, container image. So this is something like a YAML file structure that is given, basic structure that given to run, basically create any pod, and then we will see how to run it. For run, it is apply kubectl apply f, and this command is here, and then further this is my YAML path wherever it is. So this way we can create the pod and run the pod. Now I'm going to give the demo for it. So see, I have created one pod, okay. As I said that my API version is the v1, kind is pod, my metadata is web app. So I'm saying web application, basically web app. I'm saying that will be my container name. Container name is web app, okay. My pod name will be also web app. And image, as I say, I'm going to use the Richard Hood Kate S Feetman web app Angular and release 0. Okay, so this is my pure image name. Image name can be anything which you want to download, that can also be possible, but right now for demo I'm going to use it. So this is quite simple, nothing much as in complex things we are going to do, but we have to understand about the structure of image, so we can easily do it. If I see the basically alignment for the tags, so this is on the same line, but here it is, instead of tag you need to provide this space, because YAML files deal with this space. So if you see, this is the day, but if I provide the space, this is the space. My specs, okay, that is the colon. Again, this is the space. This is basically a semicolon name, and then so basically orientation we have to make sure about the YAML. So YAML structure should not have any complaint. So now my YAML file is ready. Okay, I will go to this folder. Okay, let me go to actual folder, Explorer. My bad. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, you can see this is the first pod YAML. Okay, I'm going to open my terminal. So this is my terminal. Okay, And in this terminal I'm going to use the command that is kubectl. Okay, uh, let me show you my PPT. So as I said, this is the basically structure. Okay, we are following some bit simple structure, but this is the common structure. Just for reference, I have given the structure snapshot. But my command will be kubectl apply -f and then my YAML file name. So that's what we are going to do. Kubectl apply -f. Okay, and then it is first YAML for .yaml. Okay, apply -f, let it come, first pod. Okay, let me exact copy the name of my path. So instead of, okay, YAML. Okay, I'm going to hit on enter. Okay, my web app created. Okay, so this is so simple. If I go to my Docker, so I can see before Docker there were no pod, but just a 1 second before this pod is created. Okay, this is running, everything is okay. Now if I need to go and see the info about the pod, okay, so it is something, one command that we can write kubectl get pods wide. Okay, so you will see your name will be your basically pod name is web app, status is running. Okay, restart age, that's 40 seconds. This is my IP. Okay, so this way I can do. Okay, if I need to describe my pod, I need that. So basically kubectl, we have another command describe pod web app, basically describe pod name. So pod name is web app. So if you will see, it is clearly saying your IP, your in more inner details about the pod. Okay, when is start time, end time, all these things it will get. So this is all about. Let's suppose with this IP, if I need to hit my application, because anyways my application is running in my inside my pod. So if I need to do 10.1.0.36, so if I go, yeah, so let me run the my local my pod IP, okay, to my local machine and try to hit the running application, web application of pod. So my IP will be 10.1.0.36, but if I run it and hit it, I can see definitely site is not reached. Okay, and reason behind is because if we try to hit the site that is running inside the pod, so basically right side, if you see, this is the Kubernetes cluster. Inside that pod is running, inside that container is running. Okay, and if I hit the basically pod, okay, that's having the container with the IP, it will not allow it, because uh, to achieve it there is a concept of services, okay, which we will see in our next video, where I will explain the concept of services in Kubernetes. But for now we can stop the video now, and maybe next video we will see the concept of services.